Good morning guys, just a quick little video this morning. I haven't done one for a little while. This is an ST2050 19.8cc strimmer by Lawnflite. It's well over 30 odd years old and it's given good service, but just in case anyone else has still got one of these old machines, a couple of things you might like to know. By today's standards, they don't compete with modern bigger machines, and they're very heavy, but that was how they were made in the day. The shaft is steel and not aluminium, so it's ruggedly made, you know, quite well made, but just slightly older technology. But reluctant to get rid of it. It runs well, and turn that off so you can hear me. The problem I had is when you revved it up, the engine, the power unit, kicked with the torque like that, and it got worse. And I decided to investigate this, and I undone 4 screws here, and undid the electrics, and took the power unit off, which separates at the centrifugal clutch, I'm sure you know. And this piece is held on by 2 Allen type bolts. Well, they weren't in that position, they were actually in this position, 90 degrees, and what I've done is I've turned them round. These bolts go into holes into the steel shaft, and the holes have got elongated over time and got more and more and more, and this kicked a good 20 odd degrees each time. But just a bit annoying. I didn't like that. So I thought, well, perhaps I could do a little spot of weld and build up where it. I thought, no, it's too thin. I thought perhaps I can put a piece of, lathe up a piece of steel to go inside like a slit. No, I thought it was too much trouble. And it dawned on me that the hole spacings of these bolts are equally spaced. So all I'd done was, as I say, I already took that off. I simply turned it round 90 degrees to what it is now, and then with an electric drill and a smaller hole went through where the bolts go, with a slightly smaller size than the diameter of the bolts, and then the bolts, cap screws, call them what you will, I just slightly ground on a grinder a slight point on the tip, so that it engaged into the smaller hole and sort of bound in there. And now the whole thing is lovely and tight and absolutely super fine. So if you've ever come across this problem where that kicks and you think, you know, what's happening here? That's a quick, simple dodge. And because this is steel and it hasn't weakened that significantly by having 2 more small holes in it, it's no odds. Now the strange thing, if you have got one of these, you will know that there's no adjustment on the carburettor. Most of these type of things, or modern ones of course, have a couple of adjustments. I'm sure you know how to do those. There's a high and a low adjustment. Not on this one, it's fixed. And one particular annoyance is it takes many pulls to get this thing started. And there's a reason for that. There's no primer. There's no little bulb or a squeezy. I keep threatening to put one on or modifying it. But as I take the fuel out, whenever I've used it, I never leave fuel in it, it takes a while for the fuel to come up the pipe. And of course that's pulling, trying to get the... I found a quick way over that. I lost the cap a long while ago, by the way. What I do is I just simply blow into the tank, just keep a steady pressure and just gently pull it over with the switch turned off, the ignition turned off. And then couple of pulls and usually it's away. So what you're doing is you're pressurising the fuel supply. Anyway, I thought you'd like to see that. As I say, it's quite an old one. Lawnflite. But I'm not going to get rid of it. It's just a nice... Well, I bought it new many years ago. It's got to be 35, 36, 37 years old. Probably, maybe more. I know time flies and you lose all track, don't you? Anyway, I thought I'd just show you that one this morning. I'm doing spot some maintenance this morning, and so I've oiled up the inner shaft, and I use 3mm nylon on the head. I use industrial nylon. I've got a large drum of the stuff, and I use that on the head. That works well. And I use the same stuff on a little Kawasaki I've got. Let's see if I can get that off of the shelf here. Go down. I think I've shown this one too. This is another little favourite of mine. Put this one in. This one, much more modern of course. This is a TD18. I'm not sure the CC of this, but again not very high. But this is a lovely little lightweight one, and of course it's an alloy shaft, which is why. But it's plenty good enough for the sort of thing I do. I'm not doing industrial. But have you noticed, look here, we have a bulb, and we can squeeze the bulb to prime the carburettor, and this is a standard carburettor with adjustments. So I'm going to keep my eyes open for one of these and put it on there. Anyway, just a quick little video, and this one too has an industrial type head, that end, and that I've oiled up this morning, so quite pleased with myself. Before I go, I'll give you something to smile about. Yesterday I was picking apples with a crash helmet on. My neighbour must have thought I was balmy, but when you've got apples that size, you wouldn't want that coming on your head, would you?